What's up guys, it's John Haas, RN here with NRSNG, and I'm here to bring you another Tuesday test tip. Today we're going to talk about how to study in nursing school, abbreviated, or also how to use NRSNG Academy to save you time in studying. We're going to break it up into 4 different sections: before class, during class, after class, and right before the test. Before class, what we want you to do is we want you to review the topics, review the lessons that you're going to be tested on, that you're going to be covering in class. Now this is really easy with NRSNG Academy because you can go in there, watch those lessons, 10 minutes, boom, you got it all, you can go to class. If you don't have NRSNG Academy, you should sign up, but if you don't have that account, just kind of review those notes, review those lessons, review those chapters before you even get to class. Inside NRSNG, you should be reviewing the cheat sheets and the patho charts just to give you that really high level knowledge of what's going to be discussed in class. During class, the number one thing you need to do is to be taking notes, all right? Anytime anything comes up that's not clear to you, pop your hand up, raise a question. Like they say, there's no dumb questions. Just ask any question that pops into your mind, and then put a star next to things that you feel like maybe you need a little bit more clarification. And then having reviewed this NRSNG lesson prior to class, this should help you kind of come in with that foundational knowledge. All right, so that's before class and that's during class. Now after class, this is one of the most important steps. You need to go back inside NRSNG or go back to your book or go back to your main study resource and take some practice questions. Take some practice questions on what you just reviewed before class and what you just talked about in class. Then I want you to review the video again or review the chapter again and go over all of that. In our test-taking course inside NRSNG, we actually have a 10-step method for note-taking. I highly encourage you to do that. We even talked about this on one of our previous test tips. It'll really help you. But if you're not using that, start making now at this point flashcards, start making mnemonics, start looking at images, start drawing pictures to really make this information stick that you've now reviewed twice. Then, if you're still struggling with the topic, go back to the textbook, really review that section, go to your professor, set up a time with them, join a Facebook group, find other peers that you can review these things that maybe still aren't sticking. And now let's talk about right before the test. Right before the test, I want you to go back into those lessons, take practice questions, review the rationales, spend your time on those questions that you got wrong, and really dig into those rationales. Go to the references, review what's really going on. Because what you're going to see is there's a few constants in nursing and in healthcare, and really with all these questions, it's just asking the same kind of thing a different way. So if you review those rationales, you're going to understand it really well, and then really go back and review those concepts that you're not understanding. The last thing, and this is something we employ a lot here at NRSNG, is this term called SODOTO, S-O-D-O-T-O. See one, do one, teach one. Now that you've reviewed the content, now that you've read the content, now that you've done the practice questions, it's time to teach it. Go find a peer, go find a study buddy, and teach this information back to them. Once you've done that, this content's gonna be solid in your mind. Now you might be thinking, this is so much stuff, how does this actually help me save time? The reason all this helps you save time is because once you've got to the bottom of this list, once you've done all these things, this information is buried in your head forever. You're never gonna forget it again, you've mastered it. Inside NRSNG, this is all we do is we get you to this mastery level so that once you've studied something once, it's clicked, it's mastered, and you can move on. All right, guys, that's today's Tuesday test tip. I promise it's gonna help. Go get inside NRSNG and start employing this method right away. As we always say here at NRSNG, happy nursing.